Dr. Louise de Waal is a sustainable tourism advisor and consultant for sustainable tourism blog Green Girls in Africa. She joins us from Cape Town in South Africa. Doctor, this move comes after the results were published from a 2-year study into the controversial practice of captive lion breeding. What was the major finding from the study that led to this decision?
I think the major finding was that the whole practice can have a very negative impact on the conservation of lions in the wild. It's also damaging South Africa's brand, its tourism and its conservation reputation. It has a wealth of other science-based information that has been unearthed, including the risk of zoonosis, obviously the animal welfare issues involved, the rather unregulated nature of the industry, fragmented policies pertaining this whole sector. So yeah, it's quite a wide range of different issues that are highlighted in the report. And I have to say, I haven't managed to read the 582 pages quite yet in all the detail that it requires.
Yeah, it is certainly an extensive report. You know, proponents of captive breeding say it could help protect wild animals from breeding, but critics see it as cruel and exploitative. How are these animals that are in captivity exploited, and what conditions are they usually living in? Because I think for people who aren't aware, they probably think, oh, the animal's in captivity, it's protected from dangers that it might encounter out in the wild.
Yeah, that is very true. And to sort of start off this conversation is that really what lions in the wild need is safe habitats and sufficient food, as in prey species, and as little conflict with humans as possible. So they don't have breeding issues. So that's a starting point. So the breeding industry from that point of view is not helping conservation whatsoever. The lions and other big cats, because there's lots of other big cats that are being bred in captivity in South Africa as well, they are kept in small enclosures. Cubs are taken away from the mothers within hours, sometimes days of birth. They are being raised by paying volunteers, hand raised that is, being interacted with tourists. They are kept in very small enclosures, very often without the basic welfare needs that these animals require, such as shelter, water, food, lots of nutritional deficiency issues relating to captive bred lions that leads to other diseases. There's lots of inbreeding going on that is leading to health issues and physical deformities. So yeah, and then the whole social structure of a lion's pride that doesn't exist in captivity, because these animals are all kept in age groups. So you will find groups of very young lions together, a few months old lions. Then you have 20 lions all around 1 year old, all kept together. So they're very unnatural conditions, and the conditions themselves are very often very far from ideal as well.
You know, it's really sad to hear you talking about this because, again, I think a lot of people aren't aware of the realities when tourists, for example, come to Africa and they do see these cubs that are raised in captivity and they take their selfies and post them on social media. But what kind of harm does that cause to do things like that, and then for other people to see them on social media and think, hey, I can go too to South Africa and take a selfie with a lion cub?
Yeah, exactly. It's that perpetuation when people post these selfies on social media. Look, from starting points, it's extremely cruel, obviously, when small lion cubs are being ripped from their mothers, and their mothers are then being put back into that breeding cycle much quicker. So the mothers become like breeding machines. They can have 4 to 5 times more litter predators in captivity than they can have in the wilds. The cubs, they are brought up by volunteers. They are fed on milk formulas that are really not appropriate and have nutritional deficiencies that leads to all sorts of immune system problems, and compromised immune systems can lead to other diseases. We see small cubs with already bone deformities because of nutritional deficiencies at an extremely young age. And I think this is what people don't realize. They see the cub for this 5-10 minutes. And what they don't realize is that these small cubs go through this every single day, sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So it's not just that one little visit from a tourist, but it's lots of tourists, and we can, in some facilities that get lots of people, it can be hundreds of people in one day, and it's obviously from the welfare of these animals. It really is hugely compromising and problematic. And as you were saying straight away, people post these pictures. The cubs are extremely cute. They're beautiful, they're cute, they're sweet. And everybody thinks, I want that too. So it perpetuates that whole situation. And then we have lots of lions, lots of cubs, because they need to be replaced. After a few months, they become too dangerous to be interacted with. So they need to be replaced with younger cubs over and over again. So we end up with literally hundreds of lions in captivity that have no use in the tourism industry anymore, and that's when the captive hunting and the lion bone trade come into this whole captive breeding industry.
No, it is all very sad, and thank you so much for sharing your insight into this. It is also very eye-opening, Dr. Louise de Waal. Thank you.